is a quiet kind of suffering that moves through the world almost invisibly, an emotional absence mistaken for composure, a stillness misread as strength. It belongs to those who wander through life feeling nothing, or believing they feel nothing, carrying an emptiness so subtle that even they struggle to define it. Their condition is not loud or dramatic. It does not crash like waves against the shores of their lives. Instead, it drifts like a quiet fog that never fully lifts, a muted haze between them and the vividness of existence. This is the psychology of people who don't feel anything, at least not in the way they think they should. To understand them is to step into a space where emotions are not merely absent but suspended, a place where feeling has been silenced rather than erased, hidden rather than extinguished. Their emptiness is not a void, it is a story waiting to be heard. People who do not feel anything often live as though they are ghosts in their own bodies. They wake up with a mechanical awareness of time passing, performing the motions of life with a detachment that might look to others like discipline or calmness. But inside they navigate a landscape stripped of color, drained of texture, and muted in meaning. They do not choose this state. It is more like a survival instinct that was activated without their permission, a psychological defense that has overstayed its welcome. It protects them from pain but also from joy. It shields them from chaos but also from connection. If emotions are the language of the soul, then these individuals speak in silence. Their numbness often begins quietly, long before they notice it. Emotional shutdown rarely arrives abruptly. It accumulates over years of overwhelm, too many disappointments, too many traumas, too much pressure to remain composed. At some point, the psyche decides that the only way to endure is to turn the volume of feelings down until the world becomes tolerable again. But the world is not meant to be tolerated, it is meant to be felt. And so the strategy that once kept them alive slowly begins to diminish their ability to live fully. Psychologically, numbness can arise for many reasons: emotional exhaustion, chronic stress, depression, dissociation, unresolved trauma, or a deep habit of self-suppression learned in childhood. Some people grew up in homes where feelings were unwelcome guests, where sadness was weakness, anger was rebellion, and joy was frivolous. In such environments, they learned to mute their inner world to survive their outer world. Others experienced sudden emotional overloads, an event so overwhelming that the mind retreated inward, distancing itself from everything that felt too sharp to touch. But regardless of the origin, the result is the same. The emotional system goes into hibernation. These individuals often describe their lives not as painful but as flat. They do not cry, they do not celebrate, they do not tremble with fear or flutter with excitement. They live inside a psychological neutrality, a calm that is too calm, a peace that feels more like paralysis. Their hearts beat, but not for anything. Their days pass, but nothing truly begins. Yet beneath the surface, something remarkable exists, a profound longing to feel again. The paradox of emotional numbness is that the desire for emotion can remain even when emotion itself has disappeared. People who feel nothing often sense the outlines of feelings they can no longer access. They know what joy should feel like, what sadness should do to them, what love should stir, but it is as though these experiences are happening behind glass. They are witnesses rather than participants, spectators of their own internal world. This detachment can create a complex relationship with identity. When one loses emotional resonance, one loses the sense of who they are. Emotions are not just reactions to the world, they are anchors to meaning. Without them, decisions lose weight, relationships lose depth, memories lose warmth. The person becomes a character acting out a role, performing life rather than living it. And yet many people who feel nothing are remarkably functional. They work, socialize, and maintain daily responsibilities with precision. Their numbness makes them efficient. They do not get distracted by passion or overwhelmed by insecurity. They move through routines with robotic consistency, appearing put together even as they drift internally. Society often rewards this numbness, mistaking it for resilience, stoicism, or emotional maturity, while the person behind the mask grows increasingly hollow. But numbness is not absence, it is a form of emotional compression. What looks like nothingness is often everything at once, feelings too overwhelming to face, packed tightly and sealed away in the corners of the mind. Like a room filled with boxes that one never opens, these hidden emotions generate a silent pressure. The person may not feel them consciously, but the body remembers. It shows up in headaches, fatigue, tension, insomnia, restlessness. People who don't feel anything often carry a quiet fear. The fear that if the numbness ever breaks, everything they have avoided will come rushing back with unbearable force. So they remain in the middle space, neither suffering nor healing, neither breaking down nor breaking open. Their relationships become a delicate maze. They care but cannot feel care. They love but cannot feel love. They long to connect but cannot feel connection. When someone asks what they are thinking, they often do not know. When someone asks what they are feeling, they often say nothing. Not because they are indifferent, but because they genuinely cannot access their inner state. Yet the truth is that these individuals are not incapable of emotion. Their feelings are merely dormant, resting like seeds beneath hard soil. They have not disappeared, they have been covered. The psychology of numbness is not about emptiness, but about protection. The psyche is doing what it believes must be done to survive. The numbness is not a failure, it is evidence of resilience. Pain transformed into stillness so the person could keep going. To heal emotional numbness is not to force emotion back into someone's life, but to help them rediscover the internal conditions that allow emotion to surface naturally. This begins with safety. People become numb when their internal world becomes too dangerous to inhabit. They return to feeling when the danger passes. Healing is not about digging up old emotions through violence of introspection, but about creating gentle conditions where the psyche no longer needs to hide. For some, this means slowing down, reducing the noise of life so the whisper of emotion can finally be heard. For others, it means learning to trust again, to allow vulnerability without fear of collapse. For many, it means remembering that emotion is not an enemy, but a companion, a guide, a signal. Feeling is not a threat, it is a language. The journey back to emotion is rarely dramatic. Instead, it unfolds in small, almost invisible moments. Noticing the warmth of sunlight on the skin, laughing at something unexpectedly, feeling a sudden tightness in the throat while watching a film. These fragile sparks are the beginning of emotional thaw. They signal that the psyche is waking up. But this awakening requires patience. A person who has been numb for years cannot expect to feel deeply overnight. Emotions return like seasons, not storms. First as a chill in the air, then as a shift in light, then as a subtle blossoming until one day life feels alive again, even if quietly so. People who don't feel anything often believe they are broken, but the truth is far gentler. They are individuals who adapted to impossible circumstances, who survived by turning off parts of themselves, who continue to walk forward even when life feels like an echo. Their numbness is not weakness, it is a testament to endurance. And when emotion finally returns, slowly, awkwardly, hesitantly, it becomes a kind of rebirth. They begin to rediscover themselves in shades rather than absolutes, in moments rather than memories. They learn that feeling is not a luxury. It is a compass that points toward meaning. The psychology of people who don't feel anything is ultimately a psychology of longing, not for happiness or success, but for aliveness. Beneath the quiet exterior lies a desire to inhabit their bodies fully, to speak the language of emotion again, to live with the richness they once lost or never had the chance to know. And perhaps the most beautiful truth of all is this: numbness is not the end of emotion. It is the doorway to its return. It is the pause before the next breath, the stillness before the next wave, the silence before music begins. In the end, the people who feel nothing are not empty. They are waiting to feel something true, something safe, something real. Waiting for the moment when the heart, tired of being quiet, decides to speak again. Waiting for the day when life stops being something they endure and becomes something they experience. And when that day comes, even the smallest feeling will feel like a sunrise.